Hey everybody, Billy from Billy's Bike Adventures. Thank you for tuning in today. It's great to be with you again. And what I'd like to do is just start off by saying a sincere apology, to be honest with you. I was meant to be live last night, but I was absolutely swamped with technical issues, and so therefore I decided to go live tonight. Sorry I couldn't let you know. I just had so many technical issues last night that I couldn't even get online. So my sincere apologies to anybody that was expecting me to be online last night, potentially waiting for me to come online, and was waiting and perhaps disappointed. So my sincere apologies for that. Certainly won't let that happen again. I'll be well prepared next time. So early days for Billy's Bikes Adventure, Billy's Bike Adventures being live, and we hit our first glitch. So apologies for not being live last night. That said, live tonight, and it'd be great to get your feedback in terms of what is the sound quality like? Can you hear me okay? It would be great if you could let me know. I can take these ridiculous headphones off then, and just let me know if the picture quality. So let me know where you are in the world, and if you're on board watching this, and just let me know about the sound quality and the picture quality. I want to make sure that you can hear me okay, and that if you are going to leave some messages in the chat section, don't forget you can engage with me whilst we're on live online. Just drop something in the live chat whilst you're viewing and ask me a question or anything that you want to ask me, and it'll be great to engage with you and get your feedback. So thank you very much. So with that said, let's get stuck into things and let's get going. So I've got my I keep looking down. I've got my little running order here. So forgive me if I keep looking down and checking the running order sheet. So it's just to make sure that I'm on track and I'm talking about what I've said I'm going to talk about tonight. So one of the other things I just wanted to say is a huge thank you to everybody that has subscribed to Billy's Bike Adventures. We are now at 264 Billy's Bike Adventures community members, and I'm really, really pleased with that. I really started this, I mentioned this in the last broadcast, I really started this as a way of just sharing my interest in adventure motorbikes and the skills and the knowledge that I develop. And as you'll see from some of the videos that I've got on my channel, it relates to maintenance and changing your tires and where I ride, and how you can find routes where you ride. And that's really why I started the channel. And it's great that it's grown to such a good number, 264 Billy's Bike Adventures subscribers now. And so thank you very much if you've subscribed. It's really great to have your support. And I love engaging with you, not just on the live broadcast, but throughout the month. And I get a lot of comments and questions right across the world from the USA. Just recently, in the last half an hour, somebody, Sai in India, has engaged with me relating to a particular topic, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But it's really great to be talking to people all around the world with similar interests, and that make comments about the videos and the content. So really appreciate all your support, the thumbs up, the likes, and the shares that you give for my videos. Really appreciate that. Really goes a long way to help getting Billy's Bike Adventures name out there. And by the way, just do let me know that if there's content that I haven't covered that you want me to cover, then just drop me a request to be able to cover that information for you, or whether it's a product or a bike or a question about some of the stuff I do. Just drop me a line. It'll be great to engage with you. So thank you very, very much indeed for being part of Billy's Bikes Adventures. And it's growing, and I'd love to see it continue to grow. I don't do this as a full-time job. Not yet, anyway. Fingers crossed that might become a reality one day, sometime a long way in the future. So I do have a daytime job that I need to attend to, but I do this more as of a hobby, and a way of sharing my enjoyment and excitement about riding adventure bikes here in the UK and abroad as well. So thank you very much for being a Billy's Bike Adventures subscriber. So you'll see that I've got the sweatshirt. So I've only got my one sweatshirt. So this has been done for myself. I've also got a couple of t-shirts, but recently I got some stickers done as well. And so I got paper stickers. Now I have a Billy's Bike Adventure paper sticker on my laptop. And I also have a vinyl one on my bike. So let me just show you what they look like. So here you go. Here's the Billy's Bike Adventure. This is a vinyl one, so it's a little bit thicker than the paper one. But here's the Billy's Bike Adventure stickers that I now have. I've got 100 of these. And so if you're interested in getting your hands on one of these, what I'll do is that if you are interested in getting one of these for your bike, I've got one on my bike now, and it looks really, really good. I'll chuck in a couple of paper ones as well that you might want to put on your laptop or share with a friend. But you can get your hands on these, and all you need to do is very, very simple. By the way, I'm not making any money on this whatsoever. So on the Billy's Bike Adventures homepage, there is if you look in the top right-hand corner, there is a button up there that says "Buy me a beer." And it's really just a PayPal account. And so to get your hands on one of these for your bike, all I need is £1. The majority of which will actually cover the postage. And believe me, I'm not making any money on these whatsoever. The majority of which will cover the postage and partly some of the production costs as well for it. So if you want one of these for your bike, what I'll do is I'll drop in a little picture of what my bike looks like with the Billy's Bike Adventure sticker on it. These are vinyl, so waterproof, so hopefully will last a good while on your bike. And I'll stick a couple of other paper stickers of these in there as well. If you want to get your hands on one of those, just go to the PayPal button in the top right-hand corner of Billy's Bike Adventures. Just donate £1 to that account. Put your address details where you want me to send that to, and I'll get them in the post to you as soon as that donation is made. So again, go to the Billy's Bike Adventures YouTube homepage. Top right hand corner, there'll be a PayPal Buy Me a Beer link. There'll be a Facebook and an Instagram link there as well. Just click on the PayPal, donate £1 to Billy's Bike Adventures, and I'll get a vinyl sticker with a couple of paper stickers of Billy's Bike Adventures into the post to you. And don't forget to send me a picture with those stickers on your bike. It'll be really great to see what the Billy's Bike Adventure stickers look like on your bike. I'm going to put a picture up on my channel of Billy's Bike Adventure on my bike. I've got it sitting on the front Rally Raid screen. Looks really, really nice. So really pleased with it. So again, just go to the homepage, the PayPal Buy Me a Beer link in the top right hand corner. £1. I'll put these in the post with a couple of paper ones as well. So it would be great if you could do that. Thank you for your support. It'll help share the Billy's Bike Adventure name and hopefully grow the channel that we have and the community that we have. I want to talk a little bit more about the community in a little while. I've had some really, really good engagement with some of you over the last couple of weeks about what you're intending to do this summer, and so it'll be great to actually grow the base that we have from 264 a little bit higher. So thank you very much for your support. Great to have you as part of Billy's Bike Adventures, and don't forget to drop me a question and engage with me. It'd be great I love talking and hearing the stories and the questions that you guys have for me. So thank you very much for that. So with that said, so we've done 264 members. We've done the Billy's Bike Adventures stickers. So if you want one, just let me know and go to that PayPal button. So the rest of the day today, or the rest of the running order today, I've got a few items that I wanted to cover. So let me just give an overview of what I want to talk about. So just going to review some questions from the last live broadcast that I did. There's been quite a bit of engagement, and there's a few specific topics, excuse me, that I'd like to cover because there's been a couple of questions relating to a couple of items that I want to cover. So I'm going to go over those. I'm going to talk then about, as you're probably aware from my channel and the last broadcast that I did, that I'm heading out to the French Trans-Euro Trail at the end of June this year. Going to be doing some live broadcasts from there, so stay tuned for more information about that. But I want to talk about navigation devices. I've got a couple, and I really want to get your feedback, especially from those of you that have actually been out on the TET and you've used a Garmin or a couple of other different devices. I want to get your information or your feedback on that. So stay tuned. We'll come to that shortly. I also want to know, what are your plans for this year? We've just had an absolutely splendid Easter weekend here in the UK, and I hope that you got out on your bike, and do share with me where you went, some pictures. That would be great to actually share with the rest of the Billy's Bike Adventures community where you went and the lanes that you rode. It's great to share that information with the community as well. So please do let me know where you've been. And I want to know, what are your plans for the rest of the year? Are you going to any events? Are you going to be doing part of the TET this year around the 38,000 kilometer route that is the Trans-European Trail? Do let me know. So just let me know what your plans are. It'd be great. Perhaps we'll be going to be at the same event and or doing the same thing, and we could meet up. That would be really, really great. Going to talk a little bit about copyright for Billy's Bike Adventures. Been a couple of issues recently of other people reloading my videos and using it to benefit their channel. So I'm just talking a little bit about that and how you as a watcher might be able to help and support me on that. I'll give a really good example of how recently I got one site closed down that I was using some of my content. And then I'll just reiterate some of the events that I'm going to later on in the year as well. And I'm going to share a couple of trips that other people or other Billy's Bike Adventures community members are actually doing in the coming summer period. So so that's the running order for today. It might take an hour, it might take a little bit less, who knows, but do get in touch as we're talking or as I'm talking. And don't forget, you can chat with me live, put your question or comments in, let me know where you are around the world and how I sound, just to make sure that the sound and the picture quality is good for you. So with that, let's get stuck into some questions that some Billy's Bike Adventure community members had from the last broadcast. So this is a really interesting one. So I use View Ranger. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the View Ranger app. The View Ranger app really came about from hiking and people walking, and it was really developed from that. It's a fantastic app that I use, and I started to use it particularly for walking, but I've since used it for finding green lane routes that other View Ranger subscribers have actually used. So View Ranger is an app that you subscribe to. It doesn't cost anything. And so it's free of charge to actually register for View Ranger. And what you can do is you can find the location that you're in, and you can search for green lanes that other View Ranger riders, adventure riders, have actually used and recorded. Now, the question that I had, because I've got a couple of videos, and I'll stick a couple of YouTube cards up top to a video that I've done recently about how you can find green lanes in your area using View Ranger. A question that I had from someone or a Billy's Bike Adventure community member was, well, it was really just a reminder, and it's a really valid point actually, is that just check the route that you're potentially going to do. If you find a route in your local area that you think, let's say, for example, Mr. Thomas has recorded and is on View Ranger, and you can select the criteria to identify it as a adventure off-roading 4x4 track or a green lane, or at least an off-road track. What you're not able to confirm within the View Ranger app is whether actually or not that is a legal route. So it's a very good point raised by one, and I apologize. I will come back to whose name that was, and I will give a credit in the information in the description for this video of who that was. But it was a very, very good point, is that do check that the route that you have seen on View Ranger is a legal route for you to ride down. It isn't necessarily a legal green lane that this particular person has been on their adventure motorbike or a 4x4 vehicle. So when you do see these routes, just double check that it is a green lane and you are legally allowed to be riding where that route actually takes you. And it wasn't a point that I had actually thought of before. So thank you to that particular person. Their information will be in the description for this video as a call out and a thank you to them. So my apologies that I don't have their name here, but a very, very good point. And especially as we go into summer, just make sure that if you do use View Ranger, that you check out the route that you're on and that it is a legal green lane for you to be on, or a legal lane or track for you to be on when you're on there with your adventure motorbike. So just double check that. Really, really valid point. There's a couple of routes that I've put on my video and I haven't highlighted, or my channel, and I haven't highlighted that they are an actual legal green lane. But rest assured, anything that I do put on my channel from a point of where I actually ride is legal unless I state otherwise. So I'll make sure that if I am going to record and put a track on, and I did recently, the Fens, Fun on the Fens, I think I titled it, in Cambridge, the Easter weekend, a couple of ride outs that I did. Fun on the Fens was one of them. Great bunch of lads, really had a fantastic time in the Cambridgeshire Fens. And all the route that we did there was a legal green lane route. So nothing illegal. So if you want to know where I rode, and there's a card up top for where I rode on that particular outing, really good bunch of lads. If you're around the Cambridgeshire area or local to Cambridgeshire and you can get to the Cambridgeshire Fens in Cambridge, do let me know and I'll share that route with you. It was a really fun time if you don't have knowledge of that already. So just make sure wherever you ride, if you're not familiar with it, that it is a legal route. And I think that's the main, the headline bullet point for that particular part of what I wanted to mention today. So so thank you very much for that particular viewer for sharing that with me. One of the other questions that I've had, or more of a discussion that I've had, is from Sai in India. So thank you, Sai, very much for all your communications that you've had with me. Been great sharing to hear your experiences with the KTM My Ride navigation app. Now, different countries will have different situations depending on the versions and the updates that are available in that particular country. So Sai in India, I believe that, and do let me know in a comment below, Sai, if this is incorrect, but I don't believe that you've had the update for the software yet for the TFT screen, and I'm not sure if you've got version 2 yet. So you personally continue to have problems with the KTM My Ride navigation app. I know here in the UK, I believe that the update is now available for the TFT screens, albeit that you probably haven't been notified about it. When you go into the KTM dealer to have your bike serviced, they will plug your bike in to the software to see the issues with the bike, and they will be notified if your bike has an update available. So if you're having issues with the KTM My Ride app, don't wait until you get a service. Go and talk to your KTM dealer and just ask them to plug your bike in and book it in, not necessarily for a service, but just to check to see if the software is available. Because from what I talked about with my local dealer in Hemel Hempstead, the guys are absolutely superb bunch of lads there. But they told me that they actually don't get notified from KTM head office when these updates are available. The first they know about it is when they plug a bike in for a service. It'll say on the computer programming, once they plug the bike in to see what the issues are, it'll say if there's an actual update for the KTM navigation software. So they're not actually informed when these updates are released. So maybe that's an improvement we can push to KTM about, informing the dealers of when these are available. It's pretty poor that the dealers aren't informed, and that in turn they can't inform us. Pretty important user package from my perspective. We're really good to know when there is an update, and be informed from the dealers that we bought our bikes from that there is an update. For those of us that do have the TFT screens on our bikes and the navigation software, it'd be good to know when they're actually taking place. So just check with your local KTM dealer. I think by now we should have the updates available for the TFT screens. So version 2 for the TFT screens. There is the version 2 app, of course. I'm not sure if there's a version 3 app available now or not. I no longer have my 1290 Adventure R. Oh, it's painful, but I can't afford 2 bikes at the moment, and I had to make a decision about, do I take the 1290 Adventure R to the French Tet, or do I take the 690? And of course, I've opted for the 690, as many of you will know. I will be back on a 1290 next year. I'll have 2 bikes in my garage, so stay tuned for when I do get that. But for now, I'm on the 690. So I'm not too aware of if there is a version 3 app for the KTM My Ride navigation software. I know that there is a version 2 for the software on the TFT screens. But perhaps any of you out there that do have the second version, have you had that loaded onto your screen, and how is it working for you? So thank you, Sai, very much in India for all your questions. You did pose a question to me earlier today, no more than probably about half an hour ago, about getting in touch with KTM. I'll certainly pass on a message on your behalf, and I'm not sure that it'll have any impact whatsoever, but I'll certainly pass on your information and just let them know that there is this disgruntled KTM customer in India that is not happy with what's happening at the moment. Perhaps they might get in touch with you. Who knows? We'll wait and see. If they do let me know. It'll be great to hear if they have got in touch with you, to be able to share that with the Billy's Bike Adventures community, because that's really, really important from a customer service perspective. At the moment, I believe they're not doing too good a job for you in India, but I'll certainly send an email I'll find their details online and send an email online. Just let them know that you've contacted me via the channel, and let's see if they get in touch with you and able to resolve some of the issues that you're facing with the KTM My Navigation app. Dave, thank you very much for getting in touch. Thank you. You've got the version 2 and updates. Works fine. Don't notice any difference. Dave, now, great to hear that the version 2 app and the version 2 software on your bike works really nicely. So thank you very much for letting me know that. Quick question for you, Dave, whilst you're live on the channel at the moment. Have you noticed a change in the graphics that you see on the TFT screen? Now, when I had my 1290 Adventure R, the 1290 Super Adventure R, the graphics were pretty standard. So when we talk about the graphics coming up for a roundabout, for an example, the roundabout on the TFT screen did not show all the exits for that particular roundabout. It gave an approximation of where the exit was for where you were heading. So it only ever showed one exit, and if there was 4 exits off the roundabout, you had to read the writing actually on the screen, which is very small and probably quite dangerous when you're on the bike trying to read that. Have you noticed a change in the graphics that you see on the TFT screen? I'll be really interested to hear your views on that, Dave, if you've seen any change in the graphics that you now see on the screen. So as an example, when a roundabout comes up and you're approaching a roundabout, do you now get a graphic of a roundabout that has all the exits identified, or is it still just one exit with some little writing to say you need to take the second, third, first or fourth exit off the roundabout? Thanks for engaging with me, Dave. Much appreciated for your support. But if you just let me know on the chat, that'd be really interesting to hear your experiences of what that is like at the moment. So thank you for that, Dave. I'll wait to I'll read your response as soon as it comes up. But thank you for engaging. That's really, really good. So thank you very much. So with that, I'll wait for Dave to get in touch with me again. But for now, there's nothing else I want to mention from the last broadcast and from the Billy's Bike Adventures community about anything that's come up since. So just those 2 points, the View Ranger and the KTM My Navigation app. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, just on my running order here. So as some of you will well know, I am heading to the French Trans-European Trail at the end of June. So myself and a good mate of mine, Stefan, we're heading to the French Pyrenees, getting on a ferry at Portsmouth, heading down to Santander, and then riding over towards the French Pyrenees. And I'm just going to pause there for a moment. Dave's just sent me a message. Not quite sure, to be honest. I'd have to check it again. Thing is, the routes I use for it, back of my hand. So, okay, no worries. So, what Dave has essentially said to me about the My KTM navigation app is that he hasn't really used it sufficiently on routes that he's not familiar with to really recall in his head whether or not the information that comes up on the TFT display in the top left-hand corner for the TFT displays on the KTMs, whether the graphics from version 1 TFT screen update to version 2 has actually changed. So no worries, Dave. When you if you get to experience that, do let us know. But if anybody else out there has used the navigation app on a route that they're not familiar with and have relied on the graphics on the TFT screen, do let me know if the graphics have changed from version 1 to version 2. It'd be very, very useful. Thanks, Dave. Thanks very much. So I was talking about the TET, and so yes, very, very much looking forward to the trip at the end of June. And I wanted to talk about GPS devices. Now, I've got a TomTom 420. I've also got an iPhone, and I'm not planning on buying a Garmin Montana at this stage. Very, very good feedback and notes about how good and preferable the Montana is. But I've also recently just seen some comments on the Facebook page for the Trans-Euro Trail. Somebody just posted a question, I think it was yesterday or earlier today, about navigation devices, and a lot of the feedback simply said, don't bother with a Garmin Montana, don't bother, you don't need it. An iPhone or an Android is perfectly acceptable. A GPS device such as a TomTom or a standard Garmin device would be acceptable. So I want to hear from you people that have used either a TomTom or a standard Garmin GPS device, or an iPhone, an Android, or an app with a smartphone that has really helped you, and you've not really had any detrimental effect from not having a Garmin Montana in terms of navigation. As I said earlier in this broadcast, I use View Ranger. Now, the problem with View Ranger is that the screen doesn't move automatically. So as you're trundling along, whether you're walking or you're riding along, the screen doesn't move automatically. You've actually got to move the screen down or across or up, depending on where your route goes. So it doesn't move automatically as a standard GPS device would. Now, I'm not sure if that's just that particular app or if it's all apps. I don't particularly want to have to buy a new navigation device such as the Garmin Montana. So I want to hear from you guys, for everybody that's part of the Billy's Bike Adventure community that has done part of a test or has used a GPS device off-road. So we're talking here where your typical GPS device wouldn't track unless you've inserted a GPX file to it. Does that GPX file then completely immerse itself in the actual device so that when you're riding, the screen moves automatically? And I'd really be interested to hear whether the Garmin Montana does that, whether if you have a TomTom, like I do at the moment, I've got the TomTom 420, whether that actually the screen moves on there automatically with a GPX file that you have loaded to your device. Which app do you use, whether it be an Android phone or I've got an iPhone. So if you've used an iPhone app that allows you to travel off-road and where you've loaded a GPX file onto a particular app, and that's actually moved the screen as you ride along. I'm kind of not thinking there's anything worse at the moment than having to stop every now and then to move the screen. And given the detail that I want to see, it'll be quite a few stops, probably 2 or 3 dozen, because I want to make sure that I'm following the legal route when I'm in France. So I don't want to go down a route that is not legal. So I want to follow the track as it shows on the tech download. And to do that, I'll be zoomed in quite close to the information on the screen. So therefore, if the screen doesn't move automatically, I'm going to be stopping a lot of the time to be able to move the screen as I go along. So let me know what's worked for you. If you've done the TET particularly, and which app or device did you use outside of the Garmin Montana that seems to be so popular? It'd be great to get your feedback before I go. So what are we now? 1st of May today. So I've got just about a couple of months before myself and Stefan head off, and I want to give myself and Stefan the best opportunity to make sure that's either our TomTom device. Stefan's got a TomTom as well, so I've got the route actually loaded onto my TomTom already, but of course I haven't been able to try it out yet. Stefan and I are actually going to go to part of the UK TET. We haven't fixed a date yet, but we have fixed a location, and it's going to be the Peak District. So I'm going to meet him there, and we're going to do a weekend on the Peak District on the UK TET. So if you're able to make it, we would love to have you along for half a day, a full day, an overnight camping, full weekend with us. We've got to test our kit that we're going to be taking, not only the bikes but the kit. So we will be doing that quite soon, actually. So stay tuned for the date that we're actually going to do that. And if you're able to come out and have a ride with us, it would be really, really great to have you come along, have a coffee or a chat over a beer, and do some riding together. So stay tuned for the date on that. But it will be the Peak District where we've confirmed that we will be testing our kit on the Trans-Euro Trail. So stay tuned for the date on that. So just let me know about the GPS device. What's worked for you? What app or device moves the screen as you ride along? Be very, very useful to help us with our planning prior to our departure to the French Pyrenees. So thank you very much. So next on my running order, I want to know what your plans are. I've talked a little bit about what I'm doing, or quite a lot about what I'm doing, but what I'd like is for the Billy's Bike Adventure community, I want to know where you're going to ride. What are your plans? What are your trips? Because I think it's really great to share that information and to hook people up with each other that might be going on UK trips or European trips. And it'd be great to share that information with like-minded people on Billy's Bike Adventures community. And perhaps you might end up meeting another adventure bike rider friend that you might eventually do another trip with in the future. So you know my plans. TET in the end of June, and I'm going to do a couple of other things later on this year, and I'll talk about those a little bit later on in the broadcast. Stephen 67, hi Billy, can't see past the Montana or Montero, to be honest. Great bits of kits. I used iPhone before and lost signal. Okay, very good point. Was total loss for a little while. But that was ages ago, so signals might be better now. Okay, thanks. And I suppose using the iPhone, I suppose the signal from the iPhone is, are you relating to the GPS signal? From a GPS perspective, the signal should and I'm not a tech wizard on this, but from a GPS signal, it's not reliant on the signal that you have in terms of your data signal. I'm not sure if that's technically correct, but I'm assuming the GPS signal is different from your data signal, data being getting a phone call, receiving your emails, apps, updates, etc. And I'm not sure if that's different on like an iPhone or an Android device, if it's different to an actual TomTom or Garmin device. I would assume the same technology would be on both those different types of devices and not reliant on your data package per se for your iPhone or Android. So if anybody does know that information, do let me know. But it's a good point that you raise, actually. Thanks, Stephen. Because I'm planning on doing some live broadcasts whilst I'm out on the TET, only 10 or 15 minutes long each day, just to give you an update of where we've ridden on that particular day, how it's gone, the challenges, and where we're going to be riding the following day. So it'd be great to keep you guys up to date on where we're going to be and what we're doing. And that is very reliant on the fact that we're going to have a signal, because I'll be using my mobile phone to broadcast live on the YouTube app with my phone. So I'm going to need a data signal for that. But as far as GPS is concerned, I'm as I say, I can't say 100%, but I'm not sure if the GPS is not reliant on the data package. I'll if you don't, let me know, but I'll do some research on that just to see anyway. But good point that you raised this, Stephen, so thanks for that. And thanks for chatting with me live on the chat as well, and along with Dave as well, so much appreciated. Thank you very much. So what are some of the other people doing, some of the Billy's Bike Adventures community doing? So I'm not going to give out people's names. I'll just give out their YouTube names and a little bit of what they're doing. But I think it's really, really great that I can share some information. Perhaps it'll be exciting that some of the viewers have actually got their own channels as well. So let me start with Stephen, who I just mentioned. He was just chatting with me on the live chat there regarding the Garmin Montana. Stephen F67, got in touch with me about a week ago, I think now, Stephen. And I'm not sure now, Stephen, whether you're still working at the moment, or if you are back on the mainland and heading up to Scotland shortly. But I believe that you are flying into Scotland shortly, and you're going to be doing a tour of Scotland. Do let me know. All I know is that you're heading to Scotland. Is that going to be your tour around Scotland, whether it be the North Coast 500 or something else, or whether you're going to go to a different country or do something else? But I do know that you're flying to Scotland, and it should be anywhere in the next 1 or 2 days, if that's right. I know that when you chatted with me, it was 10 days to go. So do let me know if that is imminent. Should be maybe tomorrow or the day after. Home tomorrow. There we go. Good man. Excellent. I know you're doing Scotland. You say you're flying up to Glasgow. Are you or to Scotland, not Glasgow specifically, but you're flying up to Scotland. Are you actually doing a tour around Scotland, or are you picking your bike up there and then you're heading off? Do let me know. I'm really excited to know where you're going and what you're going to be doing. And I know you've got a big bike as well. Oh, great. So Amsterdam. Oh, that'll be fantastic. Really excited to share some pictures with me, Steve. It'll be really good to see where you're riding, what the weather's like, and do keep me updated. It'll be really, really great to see how your trip's going and also who you're riding with as well. So obviously I'll be sharing that information when I'm on my trip as well. But do let me know where you're going, Steve, and how things work out for you. What are some of the challenges that you faced? Maybe it'll be good to share, certainly with me, as I prepare for my trip to France at the end of June. But really interested to see how your trip goes, some of the highlights of your trip as well. So do share that with me as well. He's covering about 1,800 miles, so he says. Yeah, good man. That's absolutely fantastic. That's a big trip. That's a really big trip. So good luck with it. Do let me know how you get on as well. It'd be really, really good to know. See some pictures and hear how your trip went on. So thanks very much, Steve. I won't get to chat to you now again before you go, but have a fantastic time. Is it 10 days, 2 weeks? However long it is, have a super time, mate. Be good to see how you get on. Thomas, based in Norway, I believe. Thomas Hansen. Thanks for the chat this week, Thomas. Really appreciate the feedback and the chat that we've had this week. Thomas is he's actually just changed his BMW GS Adventure to a KTM 690, and he's done exactly the same that I did. Albeit I had the 1290 Super Adventure R. Thomas had the as I say, the big 1200 GSA, and we've both changed our bikes because we are planning on doing trips that require a lighter, smaller, more agile bike. I've done some off-road riding with my big Super Adventure R that I had, and don't get me wrong, spectacular fun on the bike, but just fighting the bike and the weight of the bike all the time. And I don't want to be picking up a heavy bike 6 or 7 times a day. It'll just absolutely knacker me out. So we've both changed our bikes for the 690, and Thomas is heading. He is heading to. Where are you heading, Thomas? I did write it down. You did the Norwegian Tech last summer, so great to get you. It'll be interesting to see what GPS device you used, whether it was something other than the Montana, and if it was an iPhone. What app did you use? If it was a different GPS device, do let me know. It'd be great to get your feedback. And did the screen move as you were riding along, or did you have to move the screen as you rode? But Thomas is starting in southern Sweden this year, and he's going to ride as far north as he possibly can before he's challenged by the weather. So Thomas, do let us know how you get on with that when you're going to be doing that, and do let us know when you come back how it went, how far you got, and some of the issues that you face as well. So thank you for both letting me know, both Thomas and Steve, what you're going to be doing. Good luck to you on your trips. Ride safe, and I really hope you have an amazing adventure. And I really look forward to hearing how your trip went when you get back. So, and of course, I look forward to sharing my trip with you once that takes place. I'm a bit envious that you're going and having some riding fun prior to me, but good luck for that. And I hope you have a really, really, really super time. It'd be great to hear how you get on. So that's the topic of what are you guys doing. if you watch this, if you watch the recorded version of this in a week or 2 weeks' time, do let me know. Drop me a note in the information below, in the comments below, where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing. I'll raise it on the next live broadcast at the end of this month. As I said, Steve, I'm not sure if you were online when I first went live, but apologies that I wasn't live last night. Supposed to have been live last night, last Tuesday of each month, and that was last night, but I was marred with technical issues that bored me to tears. So apologies for not being live last night, but hence doing it tonight. So there will be one at the end of May, end of April, the last Tuesday at the end of April, and I will be going live again from 8 o'clock onwards. So stay tuned for that, and it'd be great to hear and share some of your trip with the BBA community on your return. So keep me posted on that. So that's people's plans. Right, next thing is had a couple of issues a few weeks ago. So as a Billy's Bike Adventure community member, you obviously watch the videos and provide feedback to me, and that's absolutely fantastic. You engage regarding questions and different topics. So continue to do that, much appreciated. But a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, I had one of my videos that related to my review of the Summit Inca 110. Another channel or another person had actually taken that video, added it to their channel, and just changed the title slightly, and were passing it off, not as their own work, but they'd taken my work and indeed a lot of other people's work and put it on their channel, and they were managing their channel. Now, you are technically allowed to do that with videos that give permissions for you to do that. So technically you can do it, but videos, I can't remember the technical phrase for it, but those videos or those publishers have to give permission, and it's in the descriptions of the videos. If it's not there, you simply just can't use it. It's copyright infringement. And so what this chap had done was set up a review channel, and had used one of my videos relating to the Summit Inca 110 review, my initial review of that card just up above if you're interested in that, and put it on his channel. So what I said about doing there is I got in touch with YouTube, and I put a complaint in about copyright infringement. And then what I went about doing is actually contacting some of the other people's videos that were on his channel and telling them that their videos had been copied. And as a result of that, thankfully, his channel was removed, because all of the videos on his channel were copyright infringement, and no other creators such as myself or others on his channel had given permission for him to use those channels. So if you do see any of my content that you think, my content will always have a thumbnail for the to show what the video is about. It will never be just a video clip of the actual channel. And if you do see some of my content that is, or indeed keep an eye out for your content, and I have to give a shout out to Ranger FTW. He was the chap that informed me that one of my videos had been uploaded by another channel and had been used. So Ranger FTW is not a adventure bikes rider. He's by the looks of his channel, he's into video games. But I really do appreciate the email that he sent to me and getting in touch with me just to say that it had been copied. This person who would copy channel, he had 50 or so other videos on his channel, so had taken other people's work and putting it on his channel without permission. So that has been removed now, and thank you to Ranger FTW for giving me the heads up on that. And I just thought it prudent to share that information with some other folks that he had copied as well. And as a result, that channel got removed. So thank you, Ranger FTW, very much indeed. Really appreciate it. You may not see this, but if you do, I just wanted to give you a call out and say thank you very much. Really important that those of us that do put and share our content on YouTube, that it is copyright protected, and that our viewers get to see our content and not copied content on other channels. So thank you very much again. So now then, what else am I going to be doing this year? Now, I've already mentioned that I'm doing the Trans-Euro Trail later this year, June, end of June, early part of July. I'm going to be going to the Motorcycle Live Show. I don't know what date I'm going to be going yet. I'll be going with a mate of mine. Haven't decided what date I'll be going. So if you are going to go to the Motorcycle Live Show, I'll let you know what date that I'm going to be there. If you want to travel the same date, if you're able to, it'd be great to catch up with you at the show, have a coffee, have a beer, have a chat about everything that you've been doing this year. And what are your plans for next year? And let's have a good chat about bikes. So if you're going to be there, it'd be super cool to catch up with you and meet you and have a chat. But I'll let you know the date that we're actually going to be there, so we can have a really good chat about bikes and all things adventure motorcycling. Now, one of the other things that somebody shared with me on Facebook yesterday is locally, and I would suggest that you might, for those of you that are interested in doing some events, so you might want to check with your local TRF or Trail Riders Club. There is a ride out in Suffolk. It's the Suffolk Trail Riders, and they are doing a ride dawn till dusk. Now that is the 3rd of August 2019. I'm going to be doing that one. I have to admit, I've emailed the organizers, but they haven't got back to me yet. So I hope this isn't a hoax. But at the moment, it's planned for the 3rd of August 2019. Suffolk Trail Riders. They're going to be doing, it's around about 250 miles and around about 80 different green lanes. So it should be a really, really super fun day. Lots of other riders with large adventure motorcycles, you know, such as the Africa Twins and your BMW GSRs and the 1290s, right through to those on smaller bikes such as the 690, such as mine. Not sure if 300 EXCs or that type of bike would manage the distance and the speed to be able to keep up, but certainly be a really, really fun day. So I'm going to be doing that one, hopefully, if they get back in touch with me. That's the Suffolk Trail Riders Ride Out. That's the dawn till dusk. Just put it into the internet and that'll come up on the channel for you. It'll come up on the internet. You'll be able to find the email address to, I'll put a link in the description actually, or a contact detail. Let me just confirm that once I get a response, I'll put that information in the description. I haven't heard anything back yet, a bit disappointing, but I'll continue to pursue that and just see if that's happened. But perhaps there's other rides that are taking place. Now, this one is focused for the longest day of the year, hence the dawn till dusk ride. So perhaps you might want to check with your local TRF or your local Trail Riders Club if they're going to be doing a similar type of dawn till dusk ride. And if they are, let me know. It'd be great to know where you're going, what you're going to be doing. I'm doing the Suffolk Trail Riders one, hopefully 3rd of August 2019. That's going to be 80 green lanes, 250 miles. And that, for any of you that are interested in doing that, that starts from Shundy Camps and is going to end at Hunstanton in Norfolk. So it should be a really, really super day with like-minded individuals. If you're gonna do that, let me know. It'd be great to meet you beforehand. If you're going to be doing something local that you found out with your local trail riders or TRF club, do let me know. It'd be great to hear what you're up to. So that's it from me this evening. Really great to have shared all the information online. Don't forget, if you're interested in, now for those of you that have joined a little bit later, Billy's Bike Adventures. I've got a sweatshirt. They're not for sale. I've just got one for myself and a couple of t-shirts. But I do have some stickers printed. I've got vinyl and paper stickers. Vinyl for your bike, stickers, paper stickers for your laptop if you're interested. If you want a Billy's Bike Adventure bike sticker, do let me know. I've got a couple on my bike now. It looks really, really good. I'm happy with it. Obviously, it's my channel, but really, really good. Looks really good. And if you want to support my channel, it'd be really great. Other than just viewing and obviously giving me your thumbs up and your questions and your likes around the video and being part of the Billy's Bike Adventures community and chatting with me online. And I'm going to answer G-Man's question about my beard in a minute. Thanks, G-Man. But I've got Billy's Bike Adventures stickers for your bike. If you're interested, all I'm asking is £1 per sticker. And what I'll do is that I'll throw in a couple of paper stickers as well. the majority of that pound will be postage. Postage is quite expensive now, and I'm making no money on these whatsoever. They are literally production cost only. So if you're interested, go to my homepage of Billy's Bike Adventures on YouTube. Top right-hand corner, there will be a PayPal button in. It says "Buy me a beer." Just click on that, submit £1, and make sure you put your postal address in there as well in the comments section. And just to make sure that if you do want one of these for your bike, or a couple of paper ones for your laptop, just donate £1 to Billy's Bike Adventures. I'll get these in the post as soon as they're done. So Billy's Bike Adventures stickers, for vinyl stickers. These ones are vinyl, but I do have paper ones as well. So I'll stick one of those in and a couple of paper stickers as well. So if you're interested, do let me know. Now, G-Man. Yes, the beard. Very observant of you. The beard is gone. Now, the reason that the beard is gone is because that, unfortunately, I don't make a living out of doing this, out of my channel. And whilst I've had a bit of time off recently, I've had a good 6 months off work, actually. I'm getting back into corporate life. And as a result of that, the beard's had to go to satisfy the people that are interviewing me for jobs. So yes, the beard has gone. Once I'm successful in a job, hopefully it might creep its way back, but that's why the beard's gone. So thanks for the question, G-Man. Thank you for that. If I'm able to do this one day and make a living out of it, the beard will absolutely come back. But for now, I had to have a clean shave recently for a couple of interviews that I did. So that's why the beard has gone. Unfortunately, I'm not making a living out of this, but hopefully I will do one day soon. So that's why it's gone. So thanks very much, G-Man. Thanks for tuning in and watching the video as well. Much appreciated for your support. So the next live broadcast, as I said, I was supposed to be live last night, marred by so many technical issues. I couldn't get online last night. So my sincere apologies for anybody that was expecting me to be online last night, hence why I'm live tonight. I will be live on the last Tuesday of each month from 8 o'clock. So expect another broadcast at the end of May, the last Tuesday of that month, and I'll be live again from 8 o'clock. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for engaging on the chat. If you want a sticker, let me know, and I will be looking forward to hearing your questions and sharing more content with you this month, and I will talk to you at the end of the month. Take care for now, and see you again soon.